Hello, my friend. I'm glad you're here again, giving yourself this time to slow down and listen. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders loosen. Let the noise of the day fade to the edges. This is your quiet space, a small pause within everything else that moves so fast. Today's question is one that calls us back to perspective. It asks us to lift our eyes, to widen the frame of how we see ourselves and our place in the world. The question is this: what reminds you that you are part of something bigger? We spend most of our lives focused on the details, the deadlines, the errands, the plans, the thoughts that circle our heads again and again. The world seems to shrink to the size of whatever we're worried about at that moment. But every now and then, something breaks that pattern. Something opens the window wider. It could be a sound, the wind moving through trees, waves rolling against the shore, the laughter of people you love. It could be the sight of something vast, mountains, oceans, the night sky. Or it could be something very small, or a heartbeat you feel through someone's touch, a candle flickering in the dark, a line in a book that feels like it was written for you. Whatever form it takes, it gives the same reminder. You are not separate. You are not alone in this story. You are part of something bigger. Sometimes that reminder comes gently. You are walking home at night, tired, lost in thought. Then you look up, and the clouds are clearing. The moon hangs between them like a quiet witness. For a moment, your worries lose their sharpness. The air feels wider. The world feels alive again. Other times, the reminder comes through change, a loss, a birth, an unexpected encounter. Something shifts the rhythm of your life, and suddenly you feel the scale of things again. How much lies beyond what you can control. Those moments can be hard, but they are also sacred. They stretch the walls of our understanding. They teach us humility, but also awe. There was once a woman who told me she used to stand by the sea whenever she felt overwhelmed. She said it made her feel small, but in a good way. When I watch the tide, she said, I remember that the ocean moves, with or without me. My life is part of that movement. My problems stop feeling like walls and start feeling like waves, things that rise and fall. The sea reminded her of scale, but also of connection. We find reminders like this everywhere once we start looking, in nature, in music, in quiet, in love. The sound of birds before sunrise, singing to a sky that has not yet turned blue. The smell of earth after rain, rich and ancient. The way sunlight rests on your hand through a window pane. Each of these moments carries the same message. You belong to this. There is a story about an old astronomer who, after a lifetime of studying the stars, said, "The more I learn about the universe, the more I understand how little of it I can ever know, and somehow that makes me love it more." He had spent decades trying to measure light, distance, gravity, all the mechanics of existence, but what he discovered was not control, but reverence. To realize you are part of something bigger is not to feel small. It is to feel included in a mystery that welcomes you. Sometimes the reminder comes not from nature or science, but from connection. Think of a time someone understood you completely, not with advice, but with presence. In that moment, you felt something larger than words. It was not only between two people, It was part of a quiet network of empathy that runs through the world. Each time we are seen or loved, we are reminded that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. Maybe for you, that reminder comes through faith or prayer or stillness. Maybe it comes through art, the way a painting or a song can make you cry for reasons you can't explain. Maybe it comes through grief, that strange proof that love does not end just because someone is gone. All these experiences are small doors that open to the same vastness, and that vastness, once noticed, changes everything. When you realize you are part of something bigger, you begin to move differently. You become softer with others. You stop trying to control every moment. You begin to see that the world is not just happening around you, it's happening through you. There's another story I love. A man spent most of his life chasing success, titles, recognition, progress. He thought meaning came from achievement. One evening, after many years of chasing, he went camping with his son. They sat by a fire in the quiet of the woods. His son pointed up and said, "Dad, the stars are moving." The man looked, and for the first time in years, he noticed the slow rotation of the sky. The stars weren't moving quickly, but he could see the earth's turn, that subtle, constant motion that had been there all along. Later, he said, "In that moment, I realized that I had been running inside a world that was already moving perfectly fine without my speed." That realization didn't make him feel insignificant. It made him peaceful. To be part of something bigger is not to lose yourself. It is to locate yourself within the whole. It means knowing that your story matters, not because it's grand, but because it's part of the same pattern as everyone else's. Every laugh, every loss, every act of kindness, every breath, they all belong to the same thread. Sometimes the reminder comes quietly through time itself. Think of the generations before you, all the people who lived, worked, loved, dreamed, and now exist only in traces. Their lives built the ground you stand on, and one day yours will do the same for others. The thought can feel heavy, but it can also feel beautiful. We inherit, we build, we pass on. That too is belonging. Even loneliness can be a reminder. When you feel disconnected, it is often because you remember, deep down, what connection feels like. The ache to belong is proof that belonging exists. The longing itself is a compass, pointing you back to what is real. There was a poet who said, "We are each a note in the song of the world. One note by itself may sound incomplete, but together the notes make something whole." You do not have to carry the melody alone. You just have to play your part to add your sound to the harmony that is already happening. What reminds you that you are part of something bigger? Maybe it is the way light moves across your wall at sunrise. Maybe it is the hum of traffic that reminds you of other lives in motion. Maybe it is the feeling you get when you help someone and they smile in relief. These are all signals, quiet proofs of connection. The world will always try to shrink our attention down to the next problem, the next task, the next moment of stress. But look beyond that. There is always something larger waiting to be seen. Sometimes it's as far as the stars. Sometimes it's as near as your own breath. Pause now. Breathe. Remember, you are not outside of life. You are life, noticing itself. My friend, we have walked through this reflection together, and now it is time to return once more to the question, what reminds you that you are part of something bigger? Perhaps it's nature, perhaps it's connection, perhaps it's silence. Each of these is a doorway. Each of them leads to the same truth, that you are held within something vast, ancient, and alive. The lesson is simple. We are never truly separate. The same air that moves through the trees moves through us. The same light that burns in the stars shines in our eyes. The same rhythm that beats in the tides beats in our hearts. So I ask you, before you go, what reminds you that you are part of something bigger? Hold that thought close, and when the world feels small again, return to it. Look at the sky. Listen to the wind. Remember the sound of someone's laughter, the warmth of a hand, the quiet of the night. They are all saying the same thing. You belong. Thank you for being here today, for giving yourself this moment of reflection. Stay gentle, stay curious, and stay kind. And if this question spoke to you, continue your journey with us on Yarven's Questions. More reflections, more stories, and more quiet truths are waiting for you. Take care, my friend. Until next time.